$10.59. That's the number today. $10.59. That is what a bushel of wheat went for today. Prices skyrocketed and all of this Ukraine Russia crises, but we'll talk a little bit more about that today. So in today's video, we're going to break down a couple of things. Always, we're going to do our market rundown. We're going to talk about blacks in Ukraine, and we're going to talk about interest rates. So as we get into it, just going to jump right into it. The market rundown. I want to share this on my screen real quick. Oops, I had the wrong thing here. But before I do that, let me do this. My name is Kamari Ellis. I am the host of the Finance Rebel Show. The Finance Rebel Show is all about money, taxes, stocks, business, investments. If it's about money, it's on the table. I'm a tax accountant that handles tax issues all day, every day. Actually, today's broadcast is a little late because I was handling tax issues for some of my clients today that were a little bit confused. So, but while I'm late, I'm here, right? I might not be here when you call, but I'm always on time, y'all. So I'm still here, and we're going to break down this news today and get down to the very bottom of it. Now, we saw some things happening today in the markets. We saw wheat jump crazy. We also saw the markets jump crazy, right? So the S&P 500, which closed today at 4,386, up 1.86%, almost 2% on the day, did very, very well today. Now, still not out of the woods. There's a lot of other things that are going on as well. We saw oil bust through 110. Oil bust through $110 per barrel. So y'all know what I said. Oil's going to keep rising as long as we have this Russian-Ukraine issue. Hold on to your wallets, hold on to your pocketbooks, because it's about to go for a ride. All right, so oil was up 110 today, went up about $5 today, closing out for the year at 49%. So oil is up year to date 49%. All right, gold fell a little bit today. Gold closed at $1,922. All right, gold now is at $492 or 4.92% year to date as well. So we're starting to see some things happen. I believe the stock market rallied today because it's fallen in previous sessions. People are saying, hey, it's a buying opportunity. So they went and ran in, and they saw, again, a buying opportunity there. Now, wheat jumped to $10.59 per bushel, over 7.65% today. So again, wheat jumped. Now, probably saying, well, what difference does that make? Wheat's in everything. Pizza, bread. There's so many other things that wheat are in that it's going to affect the standard of living. Again, your pocketbooks and your wallet as the days move on, as we go through this. Now, many people don't realize that Russia is the number one exporter of wheat throughout the world. So with that being said, wheat prices are going to be on the rise. They were on the rise today. I don't think they're going to retreat anytime soon because, again, with all the sanctions that are going against Russia as they invade Ukraine, it's going to be a bit crazy. Now, I wanted to talk about something. Because a lot of people have talked about it. I haven't really seen mainstream news talk about it at all. But a lot of blacks were trapped in Ukraine as this crisis has emerged. Now, part of the reason I want to talk about this because I see many people in my feed and on my timeline say, why should black people care about what's going on in Russia? Why should black people care about what's going on in the Ukraine? But by golly, there are black people in Ukraine. There are black people in Russia. And I know some black people, especially many of the black people in the United States, will say, I don't care about them. They're not American. And what I say to that is anytime we allow ourselves to be programmed by white supremacist propaganda, because white supremacist propaganda really brought about nationality or nationalism in the way it is right now, you got to really rethink some things. So the Ukraine has acknowledged racist treatment of Africans fleeing Russian invasion. Now, many of you, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, on Instagram, many video captions, many video footage of people, black people, being kicked off the train, Black children, Black women, Black students being kicked off the train, and many cried out and said it was bad. Now, for the record, just to give full objectivity, for the record, the Ukraine was kicking off anybody that was not a Ukrainian that was fleeing, right? And as I reported yesterday, that Ukrainian men who are 16 to 60 have been stopped leaving the country as well. So they're stopping the buses for Ukrainian men to leave as well. So it's been a bit of crisis over there, right? To be expected. So things aren't running as smoothly, but Ukraine acknowledged racist treatment of Africans fleeing Russian invasion. And I highlighted this section here. Africans seeking evacuation are our friends. This is the statement from the Russian government. Excuse me, the Ukrainian government. This is the statement from the Ukrainian government. Africans seeking evacuation are our friends and need to have equal opportunities to return to their home country safely, the official said, adding that Ukraine's government spares no effort to solve the problem. All right, there have been numerous reports in recent days of African students and other immigrants facing racist treatment as they seek to flee cities under attack. This includes Black people being kept from boarding buses and trains, even as white Ukrainians are able to, and being kept waiting hours in the cold at the border with Poland. All right, so that's, I don't want to call it good news, but it is at least a little happy face of what's going on right now. So here is another thing I wanted to share.
The Blacks in Ukraine have finally entered Romania, and we are in the train station right now to board a train to the capital to board a flight to Ghana, and then others going to Nigeria, Zimbabwe. So this is where we are right now. These are the Africans. We are all safe. Romania has been so good to us. They've accommodated us, gave us food and everything. We've not spent even $1 in Romania because they've taken care of us, everything. So yes, please say thank you to Romania.
All right, so that's a sister, a woman of Ghanaian descent, right? She's a Black woman from Ghana. I know a lot of people only think Black people exist in the United States. There are Black people all around the world, right? But that's a sister from Ghana that was able to get out and was able to get to Romania. So a lot of people have been fleeing from Poland to Romania. So that's a good thing. I've also talked to a lot of other people stateside, right? United States side that are Black that have been part of efforts to help coordinate with people across the globe and getting them shelter and things like that. It's almost reminiscent of the Underground Railroad from many, many years ago. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now, last story of the night. Interest rates are going to be on the rise, as if we don't have enough stuff to worry about. Federal Chair Powell said today that the economy is basically under attack with everything that's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. And he thinks they're going to raise rates. He's projecting they're going to raise rates. Now, I'm a little unhappy with the raise, but it is what it is. And I wanted to share this with you all. Let me make sure, because I want to share the video. Let me make sure I share this properly. And I didn't share it properly. All right, so let me get it together. Let me get it right. Okay, so this is Federal Chairman Powell talking about the Fed is on track to raise rates. This is from the Wall Street Journal. And I wanted to share what he had to say.
Briefly address Russia's attack on Ukraine. The conflict is causing tremendous hardship for the Ukrainian people. The implications for the U.S. economy are highly uncertain, and we will be monitoring the situation closely. With inflation well above 2% and a strong labor market, we expect it will be appropriate to raise the target range for the federal funds rate at our meeting later this month. So coming into this meeting, let's say before the Ukraine invasion, the committee was set to raise our policy rate, the first of what was to be a series of raises expected for this year. Every meeting was live. Decisions would be based on incoming data and the evolving outlook. I also expected we'd make great progress on our plan to begin to shrink the balance sheet. And so the question now really is how the invasion of Ukraine, the ongoing war, the response from nations around the world, including sanctions, may have changed that expectation. And so it's too soon to say for sure, but for now, I would say that we will proceed carefully along the lines of that plan. I do think it will be appropriate to raise our target range for the federal funds rate at the March meeting in a couple of weeks, and I'm inclined to propose and support a 25 basis point rate hike. The bottom line,
25 basis points isn't worth the toilet paper in my bathroom. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. Those are my thoughts. But inflation has been an issue. And let me back up, right? So what he did there, he was trying to brace, because there's a bunch of gobbledygook, a lot of what they call Fed speak, which he was doing, because the Fed chairman's job is to not spook the markets or not spook the economy one way or another. So they're supposed to give it to you bland. But if you've been paying attention, right, we're seeing wheat rise, we're seeing oil rise. We had a freaking chicken wing shortage last year. So none of this stuff is going away. And I do understand that a lot of it is due to transitory pressure, as they like to say. And I've been on record of saying that there's been a lot of supply chain problems, which is causing these quote unquote transitory issues. However, if you look at the cost of real estate and how much is on fire right now, it's bananas. If you look at some other things that you might buy, again, gasoline, it's on fire. Now, part of the reason why these things are on fire is because there's so much money in the system, right? Because interest rates are zero. That means it's cheap to borrow. So if somebody wants to start a business, they got halfway decent credit, no business acumen at all, they could go to their neighborhood friendly banker man and request a loan. And the banks may be more inclined to give a loan because interest rates are zero. So they're not making any money. So they have to figure out ways to be not as, let's see, conservative with their funds, but be a little bit more liberal with giving them out. This is not a political pun, right? Just saying what the facts are. So bankers tend to get a little bit loose when interest rates are lower, right? Bankers tend to get a little loose when interest rates are lower. So keep that in mind. Now, a 25% basis point raise, again, it really doesn't amount to anything. Now, I know some of you are like, well, what is a basis point? So I just want you to think about $100, right? $100, $1 is an equivalent, just hypothetical, $1 is like the same percentage, relatively speaking, as a basis point. There are 100 basis points in a dollar, all right? There are 100 basis points in 1%. So each one of the percent, so for example, there's 25 basis points, that's 1/4%. If there's 50 basis points or 0.5%, that's 0.5%. 75 basis points or 0.75%, that's what it means. 100 basis points is 1%. So just keep that in mind. So they're only going to raise interest rates 0.25%, 25 basis points, 1/4%. It's not really going to restrict the flow of money in the economy. It's almost a waste. They should have gone with 50 basis points. And again, they're doing that because they don't want to spook the markets. They don't want to spook the markets. And I say at this point in time, I say forget the markets. That's what I say. I say forget the markets right now. But there's always a lot of pressure. There's always a lot of politics involved in these situations. So I get it. All right. So today's affirmation is, I only want to be a better version of myself every day. All right. I only want to be a better version of myself every day. One more time, y'all say it with me. I only want to be a better version of myself every day. All right. So forget about everybody else. Forget about competition. Forget about comparison. Only worry about what you're doing. Only worry about how you're going to become better. Only worry about how you are hitting your goals. All right. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just focus on yourself. All right. So today we covered the market rundown, as we always do, Black and Ukraine, and interest rates as well. So if you like this, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think and tell me if you want more. And tonight, we're going to be back again at 8 p.m. for our Wealthy Wednesday segment, as always. So come in and tune in with us at 8 p.m. today. I'll see y'all next time. Kamari Ellis out.